This is Truth Frequency Radio.
The wicked ones obviously under heavy Masonic influence.
When you finally boil it all down, magic is imagination. We are moving into an age of manifestation. Things become actually less material, more ethereal. The golden dawn is when we awaken to this new station of life. What you think becomes real quicker. Regain our imagination, regain our inner child, and let that inner child out.
My name is Frank Castle, founding member of the music group Heist Click and New York City Neo Shaman. After a serious injury sidelined my career in 2013, I decided to set out on an adventure to search for myself with the help of the plant medicine Ayahuasca. What I discovered waiting for me was something I could have never prepared for. It was time for me to become something more, someone more. It was time I became fearless. Shine as my heart beats a rhythm with space and time. When the light starts to shine inside your third eye, you awake to the knowledge that you never die. What is up, everyone? Jermaine Man, Frank Castle, Sorcerer Supreme, right here every Saturday night on Truth Frequency Radio. I'm here with my etherical translator, Paula Milo.
Hey, everyone.
Hey. All right. Special shout-outs to Chris and Cherie Gio doing the big move. Love you guys very much. Thank you for putting the TFR family together. The family tree branches out into all of us. Thank you so much. Shout-outs to Ra. I know you did a Patreon video. Ra's awesome, by the way. He passed by, said hello. I'm going to talk about it in a few minutes. I want to give him ultimate shout-outs. We're going to talk about the spirit flame in a little bit. So, how you doing, Paulie?
I'm good. It was this has been a rough week. This week of New Year, the New Year setting in. It was a pretty rough upgrade week, I would say.
Yes. Upgrades for sure. I was busy screaming just a little while ago. There's nothing new under the sun, man. No solar flashes, no events, no this, no that. And they're like, sleep. And what happened? I hit the floor.
Went down.
Yeah, boom.
Yep.
Sleepy time. I was like, well, I guess something is happening. I've been shaking absurdly for days now. Right? Like I almost think it's my diet. And then I'm like, well, I drank 3 giant cups of water. Right? I'm hanging out, and then boom, shakes start. And they just keep going and going and going. And it's almost like I can't hear nothing. I can't be in the frequency with anything else. And then boom, it just goes away.
Well, the frequency is changing. I mean, there's this vibrational pull everywhere, and you can feel it. And it's scary because you can really feel it. If you just slow everything down and tap into it, you can feel it. It's almost like static energy. And it's very difficult to move through. And I know a lot of people have been struggling with body aches, headaches, head pain, feeling disoriented and confused. And I mean, it's hit us in almost every way, shape, and form. And it's been a little rough. It's been a little hard to deal with. But kind of exciting in the same way because so many of our friends and family are going through it. It's not just us. We hear it. I mean, people on Facebook, people on the radio, talking with people we know. Everyone is going through it. Everyone is experiencing it.
You know, it's funny that you're saying that. People have said to me recently, they're like telling me symptoms and stuff. And I'm like, well, you know, if I told you had a symptom, ascension flu, what would you say to that? And they're just like, yo, keep that stuff to yourself, bro. Like they can't, but they're still going through it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
When you said slowing it up so you can tune into it and realize what's happening. See, that's the big thing. Who's slowing up and tuning in? Everyone's going to go through it. Right? No doubt in my mind. Okay.
It's just the pace that you're at, like where you stand. That's just what it is. You're on an individual path in your own universe going through it. We're all going through it at all different times. So it's like who slowed down to see what's happening? And there's groups of us, wave 1 into wave 2. It's starting to change. You could feel it. Because everyone's now, it's coming to the forefront of the conversation. Most intense.
It is most intense because, it's really hard to function when you feel like this. There are people that are getting up and they have to go to work and it's almost like you have the flu, but there's nothing wrong with you.
You get checked out at the doctor.
And you can't
like,
tell
nothing.
people, oh, well, I'm upgrading. I don't feel well, but everyone is feeling it. We had experienced last week into the, after the show, we experienced, like we were getting scanned and cleaned almost, the two of us.
Yep.
Layers coming off. And that's very frightening for people that don't realize what's happening. I mean, it was frightening for me. There was one point, Frank and I were sitting on the couch during the night, and I just felt like this layer of thin film just was removed. Almost like when you're taking the wrapper off a pack of gum, or like those Kraft Singles cheeses.
Yes.
And you peel that thin plastic paper off. That's what it felt like. And that's the only way I can explain it. But once that layer was pulled off, it's like someone peeled it off of me. I took a deep breath and I said to you, a layer has just been removed. And that's exactly how it felt, like someone just peeled a layer of foil off of me. Just peeled a layer of film off me. The way you said it
was with intensity and excitement almost.
Oh yeah, it was the best feeling in the world.
It's happening to me.
It was almost like someone pulled a Band-Aid off, but it was my entire body from my head to my toes, just this film that came off. And it was intense because I felt so much better after that.
Let's break it down for a second. This film layer is what you and I have been calling overlays. Chris has talked about this and a bunch of us. So it's like taking saran wrap and wrapping it around your head. The original you, right? The creator, the crystalline body, the light body, whatever. You start in the very beginning is that. And then one layer comes onto you. It's like a layer of plastic wrap. Mm-hmm. Just wrap it around your face. And then you start to see distorted through the plastic wrap. And then you wrap another one and another one and another one. And you cut a hole where you can breathe. But now your vision is stifled. But as these layers are now being removed, your vision is coming back online. You're becoming aware of the situation.
Yeah, and where do these layers come from? This is life. You walk through life and you experience life in these human bodies. And that's where these layers come from. They're just human experiences.
Human experiences, what we're taught, what we're programmed, what was perceived.
And then it's the emotional pushback. And then it's your internal pushback. Or it's
almost like Source is giving you a nice boost of the source energy, and it's forcing the overlays to leave.
Yeah.
It's like a purge. One layer at a time.
Yeah, it is, but you didn't have to work for it. It just happened.
Well, That's how
I feel. That's how I feel.
You might have been working for it.
Oh, I'm sure I was, but I didn't feel like I physically had to pay to have that layer removed.
It almost felt like a special moment. Like, oh, this just came off.
Yeah, it was. It was a special moment. It really was.
What exactly were you doing when
I can't say what I was doing.
Why not?
Because I can't.
Well, that's why it came off. You realize that. Superpowers, superpowers. Yeah, definitely wild times for sure. Sleep pattern is completely off. I'm ruining everything. So I just want to say, I came into the house. We had like some bubbles in the paint. Not some, a lot. We're an older apartment, and I've been screaming, I don't paint for how long? Years. Since you know me, right? I don't paint. My father was a painter. And you know
we've been having this argument
He could take the paint can and stick it right where the sun don't shine. And then something happened right before Christmas, like literally 2 days. My mother had thrown her hat into the ring. Oh, you and Paul are going to help me paint my wall. And I'm like, no, I don't paint. I don't paint. Day before Christmas, I was like, it's just a wall.
What's the big deal?
I'm going to paint that wall. You and Paul got to help me. And then she said, what, are you serious? I said, yeah, it's a wall. She goes, oh, it'll take an hour. I go, yeah, whatever. We'll paint the wall because I know it never takes an hour. But then I came home here, and you and I have been going through this discussion.
Yeah, you were fighting me every step of the
every
way.
Step.
I'm like, we have to paint the apartment.
One of my layers is that my dad, he was sanitation, bus driver, and a painter. And he used to take me painting, and I used to have to do all the scrub work and everything. And he's very good at it. He was like a master painter, and I am a master baiter. Get it? Right? Like I'm just so over this guy, right? So anything that I have to do that requires me to any way, shape, or form pass a mirror and look like him in any way. The mirror gets held up to me for something that my father does. I want no part of it. But what have I been complaining about the whole time? Everyone's got to get out of their comfort zone.
Yeah.
Chris Gio and I were just talking 2 minutes before the show started.
We had this argument on the show. It wasn't an argument. It was a conversation. We had this talk on the show almost a year ago about painting this apartment. We live in a 1-bedroom apartment. I could paint it by myself. And Frank has been resisting this. And it's like, Frank, look.
Now use this as a metaphor.
Something has to be done.
For your life.
Something has to be done. We have to do something. We have to paint. We don't have to paint the entire apartment, but there are walls that need to be painted. This is what's going to have to be. If you have to leave for a few days and then come back and I'll have it done, then that's what you're going to have to do. Arguments about it every single way, every scenario, every opportunity, every offer that I made was rejected. And I finally said, okay, he's not ready. I'm not going to fight it. I'll leave it alone. And then over Christmas, he decides he wants to paint.
No, it's going to be done. See, that's what happened to me. It's not, I'm going to paint. It's that my will be like, all right, there's something in me that says you don't have a comfort zone anymore. I don't know when that happened because I haven't been sleeping. So my schedule's been off. You're up for 36 hours and you're down for 6, then you're up for 4, then you're down for 2. Something in me popped, and there's this like little circle that you're contained in, your aura. And I was just telling Chris before the show, it was like someone came in and booted me out of that circle. Like, you're not allowed to have that. Like, you want to have that? Sit down and look at the TV for a moment. Oh, you feel comfortable? Okay, now guess what? And then everything starts out of the comfort zone. So I noticed myself in different places, and the same moment in a different position going, oh, now I'm beginning to get it. But now there's this locomotion, this drive. So I bought some scrapers. I came home. I just attacked the bubbles in the walls. Now this place looks like the whole place is being constructed, right? Just by ripping down some of this stuff. And all I can think about is it's no longer what my father, I mean, I screamed about it a few times, but now I can see we can do. There is nothing, I want to say this, there is nothing that we're not capable of doing. And as a human being, we have like stipulations like, well, I'm not really good at paperwork, or I'm not good at reading, or I'm not good at math, or I'm not good at this. You can adapt and do anything. You cannot claim that you're the all and have stipulations on even yourself in the littlest way. Because
you can't put them on, or it's a restriction. You can't put a restriction on the love that you're willing to give.
Yeah.
With anything. And the problem isn't painting the wall. The problem is all of the emotions. All the
variables that led to the painting of the wall.
All of the emotions that go into the idea that you have to do this that are tied to your dad. So you have to let that go. You know, I was having similar issues. My aunt had passed away, and it's, 2 years now, and it's getting a little bit easier, but she comes up every day in everything, in ways and emotions.
It's almost like you don't realize how rooted these people are in your life, and then once they're gone,
you don't realize how rooted they are in your life, and you don't realize what a control they had over you emotionally. And that's the problem, because it's not the act of painting the wall. It's all of the emotion that goes in to the fear of painting the wall. So you basically had a fear wheel going when you were saying no and you were resisting and we were arguing. Yes. And then I said, stop pushing it. Leave it alone. Let it go. Stop. And then you came to it on your own, because one way or another it was getting done.
So the joke and the metaphor in this whole thing, everyone at home listening, Fearless family, shout out to Fearless family. I could walk into a room of demons and smash everything, turn everything into flowers, let every dark son of a bitch run for the hills. but I'm going to complain about painting. If you can see this, you would laugh at me. You'd laugh and say, that is what did it to you?
It's a
which is what.
Yep. It's a 10-foot wall.
You would laugh.
Yep.
So laugh. You could literally probably just scrape the wall. If you had two people, probably one day everything's done.
No, it's going to take. It's a 2-day project. But the two of us are going to do it together. It's like the cat outside, where Frank built a doghouse, and we talked about this before for this stray cat outside. She is so terrified to come inside that she'd rather sit outside in a cardboard box and freeze 10 steps from the front door. And I said it's just a 10-step journey for her, and she can't take it. That's how riddled with fear that animal is.
She would rather stand
take
on the
her
frozen
chances
concrete,
outside.
10 feet from me, on cement. Mind you, there's 5 other places you could stand that'll keep you a little bit warmer. Just shake and stare into my eyes lovingly, but won't let me near you. Won't let me. You were already in the house. You got scared in here. You ran outside, and I got to watch this every day and feed you. So we built. I freaked out just like I did with the painting. But I don't know how to build a house. I'm telling you guys, this gnosis runs in. I don't know where it comes from. We were watching Pete Nelson's Treehouse.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I'm like,
and then you decide.
I go, if this guy could build that with his crew.
Oh, he's my hero.
I can take cardboard and build a house. But then something happened during the building process because Paula walked in towards the end of it, and I was not frustrated, but when I'm zoned in, I can't be bothered. And it's not rude. It's like I'm just moving and working, in which I never. This is something I've never done. All of a sudden, I'm cutting the cardboard in certain ways where their panels are slipping into each other and then fitting like a perfect Lego set. I'm going, when the hell did I learn how to do this in any way, shape, or form? And I started realizing, oh, here it comes. The knowledge is there.
Drive, passion, urgency. Mm-hmm.
Yes. I looked online at pictures of dog houses for about 2 minutes and said, oh, I could put an eave and an awning on it. An eave and an awning? I thought you didn't know what you were doing. Then it was wrapped, done, insulated, done, and then I put it outside begging the universe, please put the cat in the house. And you walked in and was like, yo, the cat's in the house. Mm-hmm. It was the most amazing experience for me internally.
Yeah, I mean, it's wrapped in a survival blanket.
Yeah, so it's 1,000 degrees.
It's wrapped in a survival blanket, and when I put my hands in there to change the bedding, it's warm.
Yeah.
And she's happy. And, our lesson in this is, even though we think we know what's better for her, we don't. She has to come to that on her own.
We have to break it.
We have to come to these ideas on our own. You can
I built the house, and now it's up to you to come.
Yes. And,
metaphors across the board tonight.
We have to put our feelings in check every time we walk past her. We're like, just come in the house. She's not ready to make that journey yet. Frank was not ready to hear about painting yet.
Just like some of us are not ready to hear about the consciousness is raising because energy is pouring out of the portal in the sun.
But it is. There are people out there, but it is. So, you're just going to have to have faith. And just move along with it, because if you fight it or if you resist it, you're moving along anyway, but the ride is going to be terrible. It was like we were talking about this before.
A roller coaster.
Roller coaster. You get on a roller coaster, okay? So for 3 minutes, you could either have 3 minutes of bliss and incredible fun and excitement, or you could have 3 minutes of terror
where you're just squeezing your palms against everything, and you get off the ride, your neck is stiff, and you hurt yourself.
You decide at that moment how that ride is going to go, and basically that's how you decide every path that you're going to go down in your life. We predetermine how we think it's going to be. And then we act accordingly instead of just moving in.
Those predeterminations are your limitations you're putting on yourself.
Yeah, you got to get rid of that.
You're saying, like we talk about money, like, oh, I need money. I could either steal it, I could do this, or I could do that. And the universe is like, I got 46,000 other ways it could come to you.
Yeah.
And because you just cast a magic spell, because you're the magic, now it can't come in except for those 3 ways.
Because you closed the door on it. Can't do that.
Right.
Close the door on it. Can't do it.
Infinite possibilities. Infinite. Right? So, all right. And my point to this whole thing was everyone looks to me like, well, listen, you're fearless and blah, blah, blah. I go, no, man, I'm afraid just like you are, but I'm not in fear.
You're not living in fear.
I'm not living in fear.
No, and that's the difference.
But I still have my stuff. Like I had paperwork. I conquered the paperwork. I still don't like it. But now whenever it pops up, it's done I swear I have to do paperwork every month. It's done in 5 minutes.
Because you embrace it now.
Right?
It's something you have to do. If you want to see a result, you have to do it. You need to go somewhere.
Instead of sweating it out.
You have to put gas in your car.
Let's
you don't
go
have
get
gas
right
in your
now.
car. You don't have gas in your car, you're not going anywhere. And that is life. Every step we take, we either decide if it's going to be a horror or if it's going to be bliss. So stop predetermining and just go for the ride.
Yeah.
Frank and I have been on this weird, crazy sleep pattern. It's like this sleep spiral nightmare for like the last 2 months.
This is not easy.
And, we go between the couch and the bed. No one's, and maybe we pass like 2 ships in the night for 40 minutes. We will sleep in the same bed together. But for the last couple of months, it has been like tag teaming. Someone has to be up at all times. And I don't know what that's about. I don't know if that's a part of this ascension. If it is, then we're going with it. But I mean, there have been crazy things happening. And I know that definitely our fearless people have been feeling it. I don't know how many listeners out there have also been feeling it, but there are people that you can talk to, just to say, do you think this could be part of this ascension process?
Here's the expansion now that's happening within all this. We come forward. We're not afraid to talk about it. We aren't afraid to ask questions. And we start realizing there's more going on. Use us as the metaphor and the example. Next week, we go into video, I'm pretty sure full time. That is going to bring many new people on board. New beings that are just starting the process or are in a part of the process where they're like, I don't understand. But they won't listen to the show like audio, and they won't check the YouTube, like they don't care. But then all of a sudden you pop up live and you start talking and they can see your face and you're waving to them and they can interact with you. They jump on board, and now more. So we go from where we are now to the next round of people, to the next set of beings that are prepared, that are ready to take the jump, and we move forward. I got to tell you something. You were sleeping before, and I was looking at stats on movies. Go figure, right? Random. Number 1 movie, guess what it is?
Avengers.
Avengers isn't out. Aquaman.
Aquaman. Current movies. We watch Netflix so much. Sorry. Aquaman. Yeah, right. It was a beautiful.
Why is Aquaman the number 1 movie and people cannot get enough of it, even though everyone's talking trash from this, that?
Because the graphics are beautifully pleasing, and no one has ever seen anything like that before. It's the first time a movie like this has been made. So there's nothing to compare it to. This is the standard now.
Well, check it out. I'll go even more metaphorically deep on you, because I do agree with everything you just said.
You could just go
deep. It's the obvious one. It's the King of Atlantis.
Oh, yeah, that too.
Okay.
But yes. Okay.
Atlantis Rising. Mm-hmm. Okay, your internal being. I watched the movie. It's a good movie. It's really good. I'm not here promoting it. I'm a superhero freak. Watch the movie. Parts of the movie, I was crying. I don't cry in movies, ever. I make fun of Paul for doing it. I realize that the strength in the person lies. If you're crying in a movie like Aquaman because you're feeling something, okay, it happened in Star Wars. There was a part in The Matrix where I kind of twisted a little bit. And I was like, oh, why am I getting so emotional? Your attachment to that is because there is a strong energy being drawn to you when you find out the guy is returning to merge the land, the sea, the air into the one people, the one being, to bring the planet together, the people that come together that didn't want to be part of it. I don't want to do this. I don't want to, because of this reason and that reason and drama, and then just says, no, I'm doing this because this is the right thing to do. Right. And everyone rises, right? Like, and as for Aquaman, the tides rise, we all ride together. Human, Atlantean, joined forces come as one. The metaphor for that is the return of Atlantis. We are all Atlantean. Prior to that, we were all Lemurian. Prior to that, we were all Pangean. That's, well, whatever. But I'm saying, like, it never not was. So now it's coming back again.
Everything's coming back.
Everything. So riding the wave on the incoming is the Aquaman. People laugh. Aha, I remember that blonde-head fool from Super Friends. He talks to fish. No, he talks to water, right? And it responds to him. The animals come to his aid, just like a shaman. He's like the shaman of the sea.
That's exactly it. There's an elemental value. You're manipulating the elements.
I just started
You're
dancing.
getting them to work for you. We do it here.
We symbiotically work together.
Yeah.
Right? Teams, okay, of planet, right? I've had beings, and they're raptor beings. They kind of come around me once in a while, and I'm like, oh, what do you guys want? And I keep getting from Aya or source of Mother Earth, hey, those are my children, right? So that's why they're talking to you. Are they hurting you? I'm like, no, they're actually friending me.
Yeah, we all exist.
And they're
we
like,
all
you're
together.
a part of our pack.
Yes.
And I'm like, nah, I don't know. They're like, we were here the whole time.
First.
The other offshoots of us,
First.
there are other the other versions that you think, the reptilian and this and that, okay, they're not from here. I'm from here. So if we are all being taken, we're all being taken. So don't think they're not doing things to us. So we are now joining with you, joining with this one, joining with that one. We are all children of the planet, thus making us all one, because this is our world.
That's so beautiful.
All right, when we come back, I got a whole bunch of other stuff, and I'm for your protection from deception. Hang in there. We'll be right back. Atlantis is back. Right.
Ayahuscua just to free my mind. I hope to find another day what I've lost before. I'm trying to find my second wind so I can win some more. Don't try to tell me how it is or what can't be done.
We are TFR.
My faith in destiny is all I need to prevail.
Truth Frequency Radio.
Am I awake or is this a dream? A fantasy where I'd rather be. So come and talk with me. Come and walk with me. Is this a wake-up call from my reality? Have you seen my friends? Have you seen my girl? Wake me up from this. I'm trapped in this world. Thought you were alive until you felt my pain.
What is up, everyone? We are back. My name is Frank Castle, your Sorcerer Supreme. This is True Frequency Radio. I'm here with Paula Milo.
Hey.
My etherical translator. But guess what? She's your etherical translator, too.
Does it work like that?
I don't know. I kind of sounded like Josh right there.
You
Shout out to
just sounded
Josh.
like you were pimping me out there.
Ah!
A little bit.
All right, so check it out. We were talking about movies. We were talking about Aquaman. Just a side note. Watch Wreck-It Ralph 2. Ralph Breaks the Internet. Right? We watched this movie, and it was like the giant metaphor of all of us going through ascension. I completely forgot about this. Paul just was like, oh, someone posted, I think Bill in the room posted a picture of Stan Lee, and he shows up in the movie.
In
right?
Wreck-It Ralph, too.
In Wreck-It Ralph. And she's like...
And it was so beautiful because it was after he had just passed. So it was nice to see...
Anytime we see that guy, we're going to be like,
make a big deal.
Like, now it'll be a big deal. But the movie was ridiculous in terms of...
Oh, yeah.
So, really quick, the girl from the first movie that races the cars, she's in a game, and the game has 3 tracks, right? And she becomes the master of the tracks. But that's it. It's an old game. There's no more. There's no more you could do. She knows all the jumps and back roads and side roads. And Ralph, it's just he's smashing things all day. And then when they're off duty, they hang out together. And she's like, don't you ever wish what's going on out there? So her game breaks, and they can't afford, because all the places went out of business. They fixed things. So the guy's like, you know what? I hooked something up called the internet, right? So they don't allow any of the characters from the arcade games to access the internet. There's like a tunnel, like a portal. They're not allowed in it. So they rope it off. So, they get buggy with some stuff that happens, and they find out that they can order the parts on eBay. So they have to find eBay, and they're like, you know what? let's just do this. And they jump into the internet, and it turns into an infinite realm where
of choices. And basically, that's what it comes to.
That the 3D games never had.
Was so bored because she had no choices anymore.
Yeah, she was out of them.
So now she's in a realm where all you have to do is make choices all day long, and how that enriched her life.
And how she ascends through the process.
Right.
And it's
and then I fell asleep, so I don't know what happened at the end.
It is honestly the most beautiful experience. And towards the very end, I'm not ruining anything because it's great. I told Nicholas Zervos about this.
Yeah, don't give the ending then.
He was like just listening to me like, really? And I'm like, no, dude, you got to watch it. I know. You just got to try it.
And you have to listen carefully. You have to watch it with an open mind and listen carefully.
If a giant octopus comes out at the end of this movie, I'm going to lose it and start screaming. And something comparable happens, but it wasn't the octopus. But you would go, oh, snap. And then watching what he does and how she does was one of the most uplifting little experiences. And I sat here screaming at Paula, and that's this, and that's this, and that's this. I'm like, this is the most informative movie I've ever seen.
Yeah.
It's literally exactly what we're going through. Whoever made this movie knows exactly what's going on.
Oh, absolutely.
Just like when we watched Doctor Strange. We had talked about that stuff for 2 years.
Not only did they know what was going on, but they were able to sprinkle it into the movie.
Yeah, and it was literally part of everything. Like every little piece was metaphorical. Excuse me.
Oh, someone just put a meme up in the chat room. Oh, yeah, get a subscription. This is why. And you don't need a subscription to be in the chat room on TFR. But you should get a subscription anyway, so you can listen to past episodes. There's a meme of Wreck-It Ralph now.
You could listen to everyone's past episodes.
Yeah, at any time, and it helps us.
Yeah, actually, it helps everyone. It's the energy exchange. Mucho apreciado. Everybody go, if you get a chance to check out IamWeAreFearless.com. 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 Check out all the different designs by all the different great Fearless family artists.
I'm wearing my, I think Nick did this one.
Yep, that's
right?
No, that's Ron. Ron shirt.
Ron did this one.
Yes.
Oh, Nick did the other one with all the writing on it.
The Rethink and there's so many great designs.
You were wearing a Fearless t-shirt yesterday.
I had my tribe.
Yesterday you were wearing it. Yeah.
Fearless Tribe. I love the designs and the concepts that everyone's coming up with. Just go check it out. The artists get 50% of everything right up front, and you're really helping them along because, it's hard for everyone now, right? It's been difficult.
What's the next thing on your list you want?
Well, we got a whole bunch of things to talk about tonight. So one of the things that screwed me up really, really bad this week, really, really bad, and this is getting honorable mention because I've never felt so much pain in my life, and I've had many things happen to me in my life. And
the heat cramp.
So
right?
I got heat cramps from being dehydrated, and things were like going to the bathroom was turning different colors.
Cramp in his side,
but I was still drinking.
Couldn't move.
About 50 ounces of water.
No, more than that.
I was drinking 50 ounces of water a day. That was my minimum baseline to hit. That's what I thought in my head. Remember when you gave me the numbers? I says I'm half away from what you just said. So you were like, how much do you weigh? I said, about 200 pounds.
Right. So you divide it in half, and then that's the amount of ounces of water that you need to drink. So it's 100 ounces of water.
Right. So I'm coming in at less than that and drinking tons of coffee.
Right.
Okay.
We have to cut down on the coffee.
Well, it's not even that. It's like I was offsetting the coffee with the water.
Right.
Like back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. And then bananas and whatever we eat really good. So anyway, I coughed and turned sideways, and this pain, I thought I broke your
rib. Yeah.
More than my rib. I've had my ribs busted. I've done so many nasty things to myself. I thought I ruptured something, and then I was going to just start coughing up blood, and nothing ever came out except I fainted a few times from the pain.
Oh yeah, and this is just sitting on the couch. This is coughing and turning the wrong way.
I broke a rib. Then I thought I separated a rib. It was like on my right side. Okay, so I still don't know I'm dehydrated. I'm going through the stuff. The pain was so bad, I fainted, couldn't get off the floor, 25 minutes crawling into the other room. It was almost like, oh, man, I'm done with this. What is going on? Aches and pains and headaches. And okay, so now I can't cough. I can't sneeze, I can't pee,
you can't laugh,
and I can't push when I have to go number 2 because
it hurts.
This stuff just flares up, and then I realize it's not a flare up. It's hitting me like a cramp. By day 2, I knew it was cramping.
No, we had to go on WebMD because he didn't want to go to the doctor.
That was day 2.
Yeah, that was day 2.
So now I push through the pain. Okay, some amazing things happen when you push through the pain. Now, let's see who's been going through what. Okay, I saw stars every time. Okay, so if I was in a sitting position, and you know me, might allegedly be smoking a joint, right? And then, boom, on the floor, screaming like, oh! And let me mind you, I'm really trying not to be the guy that screams like a little girl, but it's not working.
It's not working.
Nothing is working. Each part of this process has literally beaten me to a bloody pulp. So when you think, well, you know, I'm like, nah, you know what? I've been beaten up so many times. I'm not afraid to take the hit, but I'm taking stupid hits now, realizing I'm not drinking enough water. I close my eyes and it looks like the Millennium Falcon when it's about to jump into hyperspace, right? And I'm like, okay, there's going to be 25 minutes of this because I've done it 25 times and I'm dying now. And I'm going, you know what? Meh, nothing I could do about it. So I'm trying to stretch. And as I look through the pain, it brings me to the same exact place as a DMT trip, a 2-gram mushroom trip, a nice hit of DMT. I'm in that same exact place. Man, I saw the light beings looking at me and I cursed. You heard me? I was cursing everyone out. This is your fault, your fault. And then it would hit me and they're like, we didn't do anything. You're the one not drinking water. And I'm like, Paul, you're right. I'm not drinking water. They're telling, right? Okay. So then I'll move it along, but I drank a lot of water, right? I'm still in so much pain.
And
but
then he
it's
drank
way
some
better.
alkaline water. And
Lots
then
of alkaline water.
And then he felt better.
Yeah, I had to change up a few things around here.
But it was horrible.
Now my sleep habits are off, so I'm up 36 hours, down for 4, up for 8, down for 4, up for 36. I'm like bugging out. I don't know where's up and where's down. And I'm just pounding water, drinking coffee, wondering why nothing tastes right, nothing feels right, nothing. I'm vibrating weird. And then I'm like, well, I can't concentrate. I don't know what's going on. Then suddenly I'm ready to paint the wall. I'm commanding. The cats are all with me now all of a sudden, right?
Oh, yeah, everyone hangs
That's
out
the
with
new
you
thing.
now. Mm-hmm.
I turn around, there's 4 cats at me, and I'm petting. Everyone needs my time. But I don't mind giving it. I'm like, well, no, I love it. I love it. And then I wake up and Little Bear's on my face. By the way, our cat, Little Bear, is doing awesome.
Yeah, he's doing a lot better now.
Oh, my goodness. All right. Anyway, so I go into these bursts of I can do it all into, man, I can't do nothing. And I'm weak and fragile.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm in pain. And I'm crying. And then I close my eyes. And then I'm through the pain. Imagine a cramp under your rib, under your arm, it's like the halfway point where your rib and the little chubby part meets, where that strip of muscle is.
Yeah.
That thing up under the rib was cramping and
it seized up into a ball.
And then, okay, so I would cough and then it would feel like someone was squeezing like a tube of toothpaste and everything was going to squirt out the other end, except nothing squirted out. It just balled out into a little knot and then went right back in. And I'm like, oh, that's my kidney. My liver's dead. It exploded. Here comes the blood out of my face. All right, wait. Paula, what happened to me? I fainted in front of Paula, hit the floor. Then woke up and was like, what did I say?
Floor. I thought it would be longer since I've seen you again. I thought it would be a longer time. But I'm seeing you again,
I guess there must be something you must tell me, Floor. What am I missing that I keep running into you like this? Because it was so frustrating. And then I closed my eyes and it was like they were all watching us. I could say us because, well, no, they're watching all of us. But yeah, I think they're making fun of me.
Yes.
You know,
yes. Just a little bit.
Physically, it's a rough ride, guys.
You know, Frank can knock down a wall if he has to, because he's strong enough. If he got angry, he'd be strong enough to do it. He wouldn't be able to walk or bend or stretch or move after that, but he could do it. And when he's in these moments and he's so vulnerable, he just goes down he went down like a sack of potatoes. And so I always go into rescue mode. And then he yells at me, "Don't touch me, get away." And then I said, "Come on, Frank, let's just pull it together and then we'll be okay. We can do it together." And then once he allows that to happen, everything is fine.
All right. I know a lot of people don't have an etherical translator and a Paula in the house with them. So people that are listening and they're trying to understand what's happening, just know that this is the kind of nonsense that goes on. It's not nonsense. It is the craziest thing. I tell her all the time, I'm so happy, lucky I don't have to be at work anymore, because if that happens to me anywhere, I said to her, what if I was driving a car and that just happened? Everyone's dead. Like I'm not going anywhere. Like, this is absolute insanity that I would agree to come into Bizarro World and have this kind of nonsense happen to me on a daily basis. And it's like, no, take your medicine. Spoonful of sugar makes the medicine go down.
Just drink some water.
It does not.
Shut
My
up.
rib hurts. Right. So this is what it's been going into. All right. Now, mind you, this is my point to the whole thing. Drink lots of water. Eat some fruit.
Just drink lots of water, because
watch
your
what
body
you're putting into
runs
you.
on water. And
you're a bag of water.
Yeah.
And there's electricity and energy. And it's that simple.
It's like that lemon that's at the bottom of the bowl with all the other lemons. And on top, the top ones look beautiful. And there's that little lemon getting dehydrated at the bottom of the bowl. That's what's happening to your body. You know, and it's funny because
people always go, I don't want water. They'll drink a soda, they'll drrink a coffee, they'll drink this.
Whatever.
Drink that.
Yeah, you got to drink water.
You got to drink water.
You just got to drink water. So
look at your job.
But Frank he's come through it. You know, there was a day or two there when Frank really thought the end of the world was going to come, and he just wasn't going to make it off the living room floor.
Listen, I felt I died and left my body, but still felt the pain, so I knew I wasn't dead, but I was on the other side with them, just like a DMT trip, looking at them, and they were looking at me, and I was going one at a time, "You son of a bitch. This is your fault." And they're like, "Do you even know what you're saying?" And I'm like, "No, and I don't care. Do you see that kid over there? He's in pain." It was just a big baby session. Had to be by
pulled it together.
By day 2, though, I pulled it together. And I started owning my own stuff. I was gonna. Okay, by owning it, it changed everything. So by taking full responsibility, making sure the filters were clean and changed, and water was going in and healthy. I was eating blueberries by the handful again. Everything is now back in full functioning mode. You will activate in such a higher way by having more water in you. It'll regulate your system. You'll pee a lot, and then you'll stop peeing a lot, and you'll just your body regulates. Once you hit that regulation point, then you just maintain, right? You don't got to pound all the time. Pounding, it's like the hammer and the nail. If you're a hammer, everything's a nail all the time. Bang, 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 bang. So if you wait till that last minute, bang, bang, bang. It's the same stuff, different day. Out of your comfort zone. Drink more water. All right, there.
Out of your comfort zone. Don't freak out.
Yeah.
You hit the floor.
Be careful when you're driving. All right, so I met Ra came to pay me a visit this week.
Oh, that's
paid
right.
Us a visit this week.
New Year's Eve.
I have Ra.
Yeah, so, New Year's Eve. He stopped by for a couple of hours.
So for the first time, we were together. Now I want to tell you something. Ra, first of all, Roxy loves Ra. Roxy only loves me and Jeff. Yeah. Right? So Shaman Jeff. We all have this connection. Now, funny thing, Ra looks like one of my best friends growing up, whereas Shaman Jimmy looked like my other best friend growing up.
Yes,
that we no longer talk. So
yep.
we were like, I felt like doppelgangers were put around me. Now that Ra showed up, he came in. He looked like the good-looking version of my friend growing up. Like he was like the younger version and healthy, but he was dressed the way I dress. And I was looking at him, and then he took his glasses off, and I was like, "Oh snap!" So instantly, it was
comfortable.
Oh yeah, we were just blah 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 blah. It was really good.
Yeah.
Too much to talk about in such a little time with him here. Like we were just going off. It was funny.
Yeah, but he's gonna come back.
Our buddy Ozzy said something in the room when we took a picture, and I posted it, and they were like, "Oh, the two of them together," and everybody's getting ready. If they start talking, take notes, fools. Right? That's what he wrote. And I was like, yes, that's what it feels like here. Like a super upgrade, but this is what I'm getting at. He's definitely family.
Oh, yeah.
Like I felt like I was looking at I don't know. Maybe there's something in the DNA.
Like a soul family. Yeah.
Big time. And I think Roxy sees certain things
because she loved him.
Everything under my part of the soul family house, that tree, she connects to immediately.
I know.
Right?
I know. She hates everyone. She hates me.
Everyone. She's
like, my cat. She hates me.
She could be biting Paula. And I'm like, what are you doing? And I'll come over and she'll just come up to me, start kissing my face. And I'm like, what? Right? Anyway. So,
it is what it is.
So Ra
karma
starts showing me a few things that he brought with him. We exchanged some crystals, and the energy and the frequency and the vibration was very high.
As soon as he walked in the door, it went up in the house. The energy went up in the house. Yeah, it was weird.
You felt that?
It was like a light bulb, like turning on a light bulb on high.
Okay, remember in the beginning we used to make fun of, and me and Josh would talk? You're like, yo, it would only last 15 minutes at first, then an hour, then 2 hours, then 5 hours, then the whole night, because the energy would be so high. We would
Josh's
just knock
energy,
out.
Our friend Josh in the FearLess group, his energy is off the chart.
Right. But now we're used to that high rolling.
Me like a brick, and it's funny because Nick did it to me with the last time when he came.
Well, that's the
his
family
energy
vibration.
Hit me, because he was in that family mode. Yes.
So we were like rocking right away. That's what Oh man. Okay. Awesome. So he took out this thing called the spirit flame, but it was a bowl, and I know the bowl had to do with his family, like the design on it, and maybe it was passed down. And all right, so he was explaining to me what it was. It looked like a little cauldron, like a little cup thing, right? And he broke out this little bottle, and there was oil in there. But I was like, yo, look at that little bottle. And I said to him, you're going to rub that 3 times, and a genie's going to come out. That's what it looked like. I was like, wow. He goes, no, this is special oil. I hope I brought enough.
I thought it was alcohol.
It wasn't alcohol, so it's oil. So he squirted it in the thing, and then he's like, all right, I'm going to light this, and he explains the process. Now, this was his bowl, so it's intended for his family line, right? So as a shaman, like a shaman wouldn't give you his bowl to look in.
No.
Right? That's like me.
But he felt a connection to you, so he did.
If you came in my house and just like grabbed my wand and said, oh, what's this? I'd be like, smack, put that down.
Oh, yeah, and then we have to tell Rihanna.
Right? Like you ask permission, and the answer's probably going to be no, because I don't want your energy on my stuff. So I understand. But he explains that the flame's going to come up like in 3 things, and then it'll recede back. And then if you look into the flame, you should get a message, or it'll show you something. It'll talk to you. So I'm like, well, I'm in. So I just looked while he was doing it, and I just was staring into it. And he was like, oh, only family's supposed to look into that. And I was like, hold on.
Get a response from it.
They're talking to me, right? The flame was blue, right? And inside the flame, this is what occurred, okay? Because I was staring right at it. I was like, I'm in. I'm doing this. Now, the joke was, Rob, we're brothers, like literal. So the ancestors were telling me this already, because you're not supposed to look into someone else's stuff. But I was immediately connected, and he was allowing me this opportunity to reconnect to the ancestry. This is what happened. I looked into it. The blue flame turned into groups of people staring at me, right? Looking like so intently at every word, and then smiling and putting their hands in the air like, yeah. But I panned, like I looked, I said, wow, that's a lot of people. And when I looked, there was me, Ra, you, Chris Gio, there was a bunch of us. And remember, I tell the story of us all going on stage eventually, and we're going to have to tell our story as a group. And I make jokes like, we're going to go to the UFO conventions, and nobody's going to be at anybody else's booth. Everyone's going to come to see our group, because it's got a little bit of everything. It's not one person. It's going to be like 12, 13 people talking, just with microphones going back and forth, explaining the different things. And they were showing me this, and I was like, wait a second. You guys are my ancestors. And they were like, oh, yeah, but we're you then, right? Giving the message to you now.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, oh, I'm fully connected. This is just the now moment. So you guys were doing something then that transpays to now, and it's happening all now, and I'm in, right? And they were like, that's you on stage with Ra. So when I looked, I went, oh, you're all looking at me.
But it is.
And then they go, you guys, just like you're saying, are the teachers. All right, you teach, learn, teach. So it's going to get to a point where that's the people that are hungry for the knowledge, right? Or the basic direction to head in, to hear the story, to wonder how all this came together. That's going to go live. That's what Chris built TFR. We all came on board.
Well,
all these connections are being made.
Because this is the vehicle,
yeah, exactly,
right, that we're using to get the word out.
Right. So
to the people that need to hear it.
Yeah. Now, I'm not. There's a lot more people that are with us. I want you to know. I'm just saying me, Ra, Chris, Paula.
Yeah, no, of course we can't name it all, but there's a lot of people that are on this journey with us, and it's, weren't you talking about like having 300 loyal people?
So all right. So Mushrooms told me, why can't I have 10,000 views and 10,000 people? So they were like, try it. And they gave them to me, and I couldn't handle it because everyone started praying to this and waiting for Jesus on a cloud. And then they were like, let's go over to the FearLess group. And they showed the FearLess group, and they gave a breakdown. And they were like, at any time, there's 300 of yous going live, even though you don't hear from 300 people. When you watch the videos, you see that there's always like a click to that 3 or just right over it or right under it. So you guys, at any point, there's 300 of you that will activate at will, just like you, Frank.
Right.
And will step up with you or on their own, making you step up with them at any given time. Worth more than 1 million people on the event page waiting for the event.
Of course it does, because those
We'll take those 300 for the whole planet.
Right, because those 300 people each have their own people that may not want to listen to the show or fully believe what we believe, but they believe a few things. They're taking the pieces that they need. So they have their own clusters of people that are with them as well.
Yes, Ra, like Voltron. We said
that.
We were explaining how this all comes together, and I'm like, Voltron. And then we were laughing because there's more parts, right? There's like a Voltron where the lions aren't lions, they're cars and jets and everything, and there's like hundreds of them, right? Just when you watch these things, it's a metaphor for exactly what we're doing.
Thank you, Melinda. She always backs me.
I love you guys so much. With 50 seconds left, I love you, Paula.
No, I love you too.
I love you, Ra.
Wasn't there something that you can get? There's something else that you can get out real quick, right?
No, not really.
Oh, okay.
I never got back to the microdoses again.
Okay, and then you're going to hold the story about the glass.
And I'm going to hold the story about the breaking glass.
Yeah, that's
right.
That's a big one. It was a dream you had, but we'll talk about that next week.
Yes, we will. We're going to try to go live a few more times this week too. I love you guys so much. Happy New Year. This is the first show of the new year, 2019. New year. Take those new energies and ride them like the Silver Surfer. We are your protection from deception. I am wearefearless.com. I am wearefearless.com. I am wearefearless.com.
Feel like I'm running down the sands of time. Another drink of ayahuasca just to free my mind. I hope to find another day what I've lost before. I'm trying to find my second wind so I can win some more.